Hello, and welcome back to another episode of How to Bake That. I'm Anna Milner, and on this episode of How to Bake That, I'm going to be teaching you how to make a simple sugar cookie recipe. So, let's get started. The ingredients that you're going to need are flour, sugar, an egg, some vanilla extract, some baking soda and some baking powder, and 2 sticks of butter. So, let's get started. That is combined. All the amounts for the ingredients will be listed down below in grams, ounces, pounds, anything I can find. So, let's get started. The first thing you want to do is take your baking powder and baking soda and put it in a bowl. And then just give it a quick little mix. And then take all of your flour and dump it in the same bowl. And you just want to incorporate everything. Okay, once everything is mixed, you can move on to your wet ingredients. So you want to take your sugar and your softened butter and mix until everything is well combined. Alright, now that all your butter and sugar is combined, it should look like this. And you just want to put in your egg and vanilla. And then mix until that is combined. Okay, now that everything is combined, all of the wet ingredients and the dry, you want to slowly add your dry ingredients a little bit at a time. I do it in batches of 3. And then just combine it. And when we get to the next step, I will show you. Okay, so I ended up switching to my hands to mix the rest of this cookie dough batter. I am using a plastic glove just so that my hands don't get messy. And so when your batter is done, if you take it in your hand and it comes together and you have nothing on your hand, then it's ready. But if it's really, really crumbly, then I would suggest adding a tiny bit of water. And if it's really dry, or if it's really wet, then add some more flour and it will be better. Okay, so you can either use this batter right now and it would be fine, but it might be a little bit too soft to roll out. So what I suggest doing is putting it in a bag in the freezer for half an hour or in the fridge for at least an hour, and then it will be all chilled and you can easily work with it. So just place it in your bag, put it in the fridge or freezer. Freezer will just make it go faster if you don't have a lot of time. So I'll show you when we get to the next step. Alright, so one trick I use when I put my cookie dough into the bag, well, it's first to get out all the air, but also flatten it in the bag, so then when you take it out of the bag, it'll be easier to roll out. So I'll tell you what to do when we get to the next step. Okay, so I have just taken half of my cookie dough out and I'm going to roll it out. I heated it up in the microwave for a few seconds, but it might have gotten a little bit too warm, so what I suggest doing is putting it in the microwave for 10-second intervals and not doing what I did. And it'll probably only take about 50 seconds if you did it from the freezer, and then if it's from the fridge, then you should be fine. It might just be a little bit cold. So what you want to do, I'm going to take a little bit of my dough, place it out, grab some extra flour, and I'm just putting it over the dough, and mine's a little bit too wet, so I'm just fixing that problem by adding some more flour, and then I will roll it out. So when we get to the next step, I will show you. So Now you just want to roll out your dough, and I'm using this mat just because I don't want to ruin this purple tablecloth that I just got yesterday. And so I'm going to roll it out pretty thin. I would go thinner rather than thicker, because first of all, if it's thicker, then it'll take longer for your cookies to cook. But you don't want to go too thin either. So I'd say like 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch would be best. And now I've got my cookie cutters. I've got some little Halloween cookie cutters. I have a ghost. I have a pumpkin and a bat. And I do have a few others. Like I have a cat, an owl, and a moon. But I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to use them or not. So just, that was my oven preheating to 350. So just cut out your cookies and make sure now that you spray your tin very well. These will easily come off if you spray it, but if you don't, if you overcook it or anything, it will be stuck to the bottom and it will be a pain to clean. So make sure you give it a quick spray before plopping it into the oven. Okay, so we are going to be making some royal icing to put on top of these cookies. And so you're going to need some powdered sugar, some milk, lots of spoons, cups, food dye, any. So you're going to need, for each color you have, some cups and little plastic bags for each one, and spoons. So what you want to do is take a tablespoon or 2 at a time with your milk and mix it. So we're doing flood icing, and what that means is that when you put in the milk, it like goes like lava when it drips down. You can add some vanilla extract to this too if you want to give it some flavor, but because I want my icing white, I'm not going to do that because vanilla extract will make the icing a little bit darker. So this consistency looks about right when it's like falling in but not completely gone in 2 seconds. And now I'm going to spread these to between all my colors, and I will show you what the next step is when we get there. Is dye everything. You want to take all of your Ziploc bags and put a little bit of color in each one of the bags. Okay, so now grab a cookie, and you're going to want to do this with all of your cookies. Take the tiniest bit off of your icing bag, and what you want to do is you want to go around the edges of all of your cookies, and then you're going to let that harden for 10 minutes. Okay, so once 10 minutes has passed, you just want to fill the cookies all the way. And if you don't get them all the way, then that is okay. You can just take a little knife and just like swirl it around, and it will move to its proper place. You might need to add a little bit too. And you just want to do that with all of your cookies before you add the detail. and you want them to sit for at least another 20 minutes. So you guys don't have to wait. You can just do it when the icing is wet. And you guys don't even have to do this decoration. Just put like 2 little eyes on. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of How to Bake That. I really hope you enjoyed it. The cookies are really good and they're simple and easy to make. The icing isn't necessary but gives it another dimension and it looks really cute. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below because I want to know what you want me to bake next week. Thanks, bye! So here's just a quick little close-up of all the cookies that I made. I didn't show me making the bat or the pumpkin, but if you want me to do a video on it, make sure to click the like button. And thank you guys so much for watching. So, bye!